What's up, y'all? I'm Preston. This is my channel Chakra. It's an outlet for my philosophical ideas and insights on our modern world. What I'm going to be talking about today is why you should take a break from your favorite influencers. And there's a few that come to mind for me that I'll mention in this video. Spiritual Soul, Gerbert Johnson, and maybe another. But just to start out, I think it's really important to take a break from your favorite influencers, the people who you're watching like frequently, the people you're like waiting for their video to come out type shit, like you're on your subscription page like hoping you see their thing. For me, this used to be Spiritual Soul. I used to love seeing him post a new video. Like it would get me really excited. It's so hype. I honestly, like, I have a man crush on this dude. Like, I love this dude. I think he's funny. He's smart. But the problem that I would get in with watching my favorite influencers too frequently is I would think the way they would, and the videos that they would make would reinforce that belief system I had. Let me explain. So with Spiritual Soul, a lot of the content he put out there was, like in his name, spiritual. And that was the shit I fucked with, dude. Like, that was the stuff I really enjoyed from his channel when he was talking about growing and connecting with nature and stuff like that. I loved that. But a common theme in his videos was kind of like conspiracy theory stuff. And I don't think he's posting much anymore nowadays, but towards the end of the stuff on his spiritual channel, there was a lot of paranoia and fear around what the government was going to do with COVID quarantines, with food shortages, and basically he thought like the whole system was going to fail, like we were going to go to like an apocalypse, blah, blah, blah. And so the more I watched this stuff, the more I watched the content he put out there and the stuff he said, the less faith I had in the government and in the system and corporations and stuff like that. And I thought, one, I was just getting exploited all the time, brainwashed all the time, and 5G waves were just fucking me up or whatever. But I had no trust in the system. I had a lot of fear. Watching his videos gave me a lot of fear, as I think he was feeling regarding the research he did on Twitter and the other stuff he was saying was going to happen. Like, he said he was just going to eat a potato if the world shut down, if grocery stores shut down. And there were a few things he was right about, like, don't get me wrong, but he was under this impression that the world was ending, basically. And it's still going. It hasn't. And so taking a break from his stuff, I came to understand that, like, wow, this was just one perspective in the whole grand scheme of things. Let me give you another example. Gerbert Johnson. A lot of what his philosophy is and what he puts out there on YouTube, he creates pretty funny content that's super entertaining. Like, it's so funny. And I love this dude. Super cool. But a lot of what he puts out there is basically like, there's no hope for you socially. Dating is dead. It's really hard for younger people post school to like find any friends or find any community. And it's kind of sad and kind of hopeless, honestly. And so when you're in that position, it could be really reinforcing and really gratifying just to see that and be like, wow, he's feeling the same way I am. Obviously, this is true to me and to him. And so this is the way things are. I'm not going to be able to find community. I'm not going to be able to make connections or friendships out there in the world because of these environmental macro scale factors that I'm not in control of. When that necessarily isn't the case. There are people after college, after high school, who have meaningful connections that aren't necessarily with the students, their classmates that they went to school with. So there is hope out there. And so taking a break from his content and realizing how much community there was out there for me, how many different support groups there were, recovery groups, different events, meetup groups, sports leagues, public library, the gym. There's a lot of places where you can make friends and connections if you're just there regularly and just seeing the same people. It's not like there's no hope. And so if you have influencers that give you a certain feed, they feed you these ideas that you do agree with, I encourage you to take a break from those influencers, because you're going to see that that is just one perspective in the grand scheme of things. You see, we live in a world where there is many individual worlds within it. It's a subjective versus objective reality standpoint. Science is something that measures everything we all experience, right? 1 + 1 = 2. Gravity. There are things in our reality that are objective that we could both agree upon them being there, like math and science and stuff like that. This happens and this happens. It's been proven. We could agree on it, right? But two different people could go to the same movie and it can make them feel differently. They can internalize that differently because of their subjective view of the world and the experiences and beliefs they've accrued throughout their life. When we do have experiences, we formulate beliefs from those experiences and we say, oh, the world must be this way because this happened to me. When a lot of the time, the world isn't that black and white. You won't be able to make friends because of these macro scale factors. That's one perspective. Other people like me would say, yes, you can make friends. This belief over here was just made out of fear. That's another perspective. These are two subjective things. I'm saying truth lies somewhere in the middle. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer between me and these influencers that I'm talking about. All I'm saying is taking a break from your influencers will give you a zoomed out scope of the world that isn't on their judgment and biases. Just try to be mindful of it, and I encourage you to look at the world without judgments or biases and the beliefs you already have established, because being open-minded, you might learn something new and life might surprise you a bit. Thank you for watching my video.